Hello Internet, I'm KrissieDeathy and welcome back to another anime review. Today I am going to be reviewing a magical girl series called Princess Session Orchestra, oftentimes shortened as Princession Orchestra. It is a music sci-fi magical girl show created by Unison and King Records. The show's main motifs are music and idols. I'll also be doing something a tad bit different with this video specifically. I'll only be reviewing the first 5 episodes, as I want to attempt to kind of be a bit quicker with my script writing, and also I want to introduce this series to new people who also like magical girls and or are just getting into them, as this one is new. I think this might be one, like, we have Pretty Cure Idol, Pretty Cure airing at the same time. I just want to introduce this all to you. So go ahead, grab whatever it is you want to hydrate with of your choice and your wand, and let's do magical girl shit. And now it is time to release the background. This is where I talk about the production of the show, what books, etc. it is based on, all that good stuff. I discovered this show via a Reddit post in the Pre-Cure subreddit because I am indeed lurking there. It was of Cure Idol and Princess Ripple shaking hands and saying, "Let the two be friends." I googled the shorthand for the show listed with Princess Ripple and found the title, because the shorthand was like pre-Orcray or something. It was very confusing. Sometimes the shorthand confuses me, so I don't use the shorthand. The series began airing on April 6th, 2025. That's this year. I don't know when this video will be out. Hopefully before the end of the year. And it is slated for a total of 48 episodes. The TV series was created by Aria Entertainment, Takara Tomy, and King Records. King Records is a record company founded in January of 1931 as a division of the publisher called Dansha. Dansha publishes many manga magazines. I've seen their name on a few mangas that I have bought at bookstores, as well as perusing through the manga section. It is also, King Records is specifically, as I said, a record company, and with a record company being part of the series creation, I expect to hear about probably several albums and drama CDs for this show, probably during the show's release or afterwards. So yeah, I don't know if we'll ever see a translation of them. I don't see a translation of many, but yes. Takara Tomy is a toy company, so I'm expecting to see several toys for this show on the market, and for me to see photos and videos from others about it. I do not have the money to be importing anything from Japan to get nerd stuff, though I would probably like a plush of some of the characters, specifically the fairies. I'll get into that later. But as I do not currently make money from my videos currently, I'm lacking that watch time. I do think it would be nice that to be able to like buy a plushie from any of these shows that I review to show off. My door opened. I think it's my cat. You can come in, kitty. My son is just being cat. But I personally, I would like to buy a plush for, at least for one for every show I review, because I tend to only review shows I enjoy, and I would like to show that off. I just don't make that kind of money at this moment. The Wikipedia says Takara Tomy produces many toys under license agreements. Of note, Card Captor Sakura, Pokemon, Mermaid Melody, Disney, a Kingdom Hearts trading card game, and Revolutionary Girl Utena. They have several others, but that was the one I noticed. Silverlink was founded in December of 2007 by animation producer Hayato Kaneko. I'm going to apologize now. I will butcher all these names, and I apologize greatly for that. ABC Animation is their parent company. They've worked on Tayutama Kiss, on My Deity, Watamote, Fate / Khalid Linear Prisma Ilia, Tanaka-kun is always listless. Restaurant to another world. My next life as a villainess. All routes lead to doom. This series was originally conceived by Akifumi Kaneko and Norigasu Agematsu. The duo are known for their work on Symphogear, which I did see in a comment on the first episode where I watched it, that this had similar elements to Symphogear, Pretty Cure, and something called Irie Pari, Magical Irie. I don't remember what that last one was called at this moment. Shin Unuma is the series director. He is most known for his work on Negima, F, A Tale of Memories. It's pronounced EF. Well, it's spelled EF. I don't know how you pronounce it. And Fate, Clannad, Linear Prisma, Ilia. Manta Isora is the main writer. They are best known for writing the light novel series. Nyanranko Crawling with Love is also called Another Crawling Chaos. It was adapted into an anime in 2009. The show premieres on TV Tokyo and other TXN stations. Hi, post-editing Chrissy here. So, in my script, I did not describe Aria Entertainment, and that's because they did not have a page on Wikipedia to explain what they were. Quick Google search, they do have a page on the Princess and Orchestra fandom wiki in America. They are a Japanese music production company founded in June 2010 by someone called Noriyasu Agematsu. And once again, I apologize so much for not mentioning them originally in the script. I wrote it pretty quickly and then went on to other stuff and didn't realize I forgot to go back and look up this company and all their stuff. Mr. Agematsu is a Japanese composer and music producer. He's also an executive producer on Princess and Orchestra, so that's awesome. And yeah, so so sorry for that. You all have a lovely day. Look at the darkness of my room because I forgot to do things. So, Will. And we're on to our next part. Characters! So this is where I list main characters, personalities, and tropes for anyone new. Minama Sorano. Minamo. Not Minama. Minama Sorano, aka Princess Ripple. Our blue princess and the main protagonist that we will follow throughout the series. She is a sweet girl who loves to cheer others on as they pursue their dreams. Kagari Shirube, aka Princess Seal. Seal. I have problems with that. If it sounds like I'm saying the word seal like animal, I am not. It is zeal with a Z, like zealous. I'm just bad at pronunciation. Yeah, that speech impediment that haunts me since childhood. Our red princess. Her music has a nice Latin theme to it. She is a big idol in the magic world. She's very smart and studious. Her dad is a choreographer and her mother an opera singer. She became a princess first. Nagase Ichijo, aka Princess Meteor. She's our lime green princess, kind of like highlighter yellow color. She is a rising idol in the magical world. She is a year younger than the other princesses, and she jumps to conclusions often. This girl is very much like a tornado coming onto the screen. Our next character is... She has many nicknames and a couple of subtitles, and Wikipedia spell her name differently. So her name is Natsa or Natsu. Her nickname is Nachi, given to her by Minamo. And her last name is Hinomoto. Hinomoto stays the same throughout all of them. It's just the pronunciation or the subtitle text will sometimes spell her name slightly different. Minamo's best friend. She aspires to become an idol. She is hyper and has a cute, sporty vibe to her. Wikipedia has her name listed as Natsu. Natsa. The subs I was watching having Minamo calling her Nachi, and in some instances calling her Natsu, as I explained earlier. Outfits! So we're gonna switch to a different screen for this part, and we're just gonna run through this like a fucking champ. Welcome to the outfits portion of the video. These are images that I pulled up from the Princession Orchestra Wikipedia. And we're gonna go through these outfits really quick. You can see. So we're starting with Ripple, our blue cure, who's our main protagonist. She's got like this cute bow with a heart in the center. We've got like earrings that are red orbs with like a little, I think those might be hearts, but they look like teardrops. So we definitely have yellow, blue, and red, and a lot of white in her outfit, but her main color is blue as it's the main focus. We have this cute like little collary thing and this sash. This sash kind of gives like band leader, I've won a contest kind of thing, but many princesses in a lot of media, they wear a nice fancy sash, so that explains this sash part. I like these poofy sleeves. We got like some little heart buttons with some bows on it. Here, like, we've got our big back bow, because many magical girl outfits always have a big back bow. As you can see here from like the silhouette of her outfit, it definitely has swimsuit liner. I, as a child, had swimsuit with a ruffle edge like this on the waist, and then we've got like these heart arrow kind of like clips on the side, which are nice. I also like that the bow and the sash, they all have this same kind of like yellow, red, yellow lines on them. And then we have like this skirt, which I like that they drew the white on this, kind of like to references, you know, water on sea foam. When it comes splashing up, you often have like this foaminess of the water. And I like that. Her gloves are also kind of like poofy. We have like these nice poofy elements with these straps here. And then shoes. We got some standard cute high heel shoes. Some gold accents for the toes with like this blue crisscross and this cute adorable white poofy sock. I also really see here in this ribbon, it kind of makes like a lock shape. Like you could put a key here. And that is Princess Ripple. Now we're going to move on to Princess Zeal, our second pretty cure. Her theme so far has like a Latin theme in roses. So like she's got like her hair in buns over here and like her hair also here. And it kind of like makes a flower for each pigtail. And so like this part is tied. I love like this crown she has. Makes her kind of like pointy. And then we've got these beautiful like hair ornaments on like her sideburn hair. That's right here with like gold and purple. So like she's got like her mostly red, but she's got accents of gold, purple, and black. She also has a collar, I think. Yeah, their collars are slightly different shapes. She kind of gives like this Queen of Hearts kind of vibe, which fits because the show is very Alice in Wonderland coded. And so like her top underneath her sash, it definitely has kind of like petal shapes here. We've got kind of like more sharp rose thorns here. I really like these poofy sleeves that kind of like, there's some space here. And she's got like butterfly kind of like shape ornaments to hold them in place. I wonder if she's got another butterfly shape. Her gloves, I love when gloves like in like this on a character. I just love like the point of the finger gloves. They're just really pretty. And then we've got the socks, and we can see like we've got some gold ornament up here as well as one on her knees. We have on the bow ribbon in the back. We've got that key part here. Her skirt has more, it feels like it has more layers. Like the bow is essentially the same. That seems to be, the bow and the sash are going to be tying these girls together. But yeah, skirt wise, it seems like she's got like another petticoat underneath here to foof it out more compared to Ripple's. And that purple gem is indeed a heart shape, and it's on her ankle for her heel, which I just realized kind of like exposes the leg a little bit with how it cuts. And we've got like the gold trim at the bottom. So yeah, this is our beautiful Princess Zeal. I do like that the ribbons also continue out from the hair and around the pigtails up into the bottom bulb, which is cool. And now we're going to move on to Princess Meteor, who is our very, very fun, loving character. So we got Princess Meteor. She's got like her little triangle like crown here by her pigtail. As you can see, she's very green, yellow coated. And her outfit has that here. Like we've got this big old star here. I love how her thing flares up, kind of like wings right here. And love an ascot, because I'm pretty sure that's what you call that. Her gloves are very poofy, so like they're separated like hand arm warmers essentially. Big poofy here, star with a blue bow, or kind of feels more like purpley indigo than blue. But I do kind of like the ruffles with like, you can see where it's tied in. Hers also has a more star shaped kind of like brace here with her sash. And she's wearing shorts. The other two are just kind of like wearing swimsuit outlines. We do continue with the stripes. The stripe of the gold is a little bit harder to see because she is this highlighter yellowish green in color. And this swoop is her hair continuing, because anime hair doesn't need to make sense. But she's got like this poofy kind of like prince pants here. We have like this purple strap that should be holding up something, but I don't know what. We also continue the strap right here with a gold star thing right at her heels. And her heel tips also have a gold star. And we have a gold high heel. We do, once again, have this lock piece. Once again, this is an Alice in Wonderland kind of themed magical girl show. I've noticed similarities to the tale of Alice in Wonderland. Don't know if that has anything to do with it, but who knows? We'll find out as the series goes on. I am only 5 episodes in. So, yeah. Those are the outfits for our main characters, or at least their magical girl outfits. And now we move on to our next section. Plot summary. This is where I sum up the plot of the story. Spoilers are here. Please skip ahead to whatever time code I put onto the screen, please. Thank you. Now, because we're only doing 5 episodes, this part is really long. Like, this part starts on page 3 and doesn't end until page 15. Sorry. I wrote a lot. So we're going to start with episode 1. This episode starts with big silver bells ringing and Minamo putting items into her backpack. Her BFF Nachi calling to her, super excited to go, wanting to go right now, even though Minamo is still putting her stuff away. Minamo reminding her that there is a lot of time before the live starts. Nachi says they can waste the extra time there, which I get. I try to leave early too whenever I have to go to events and stuff. But let Minamo put her stuff together, girl. The school bell just rang. She needs to go home, change, take a wash up before changing. I like Nachi's energy, but I feel in real life it would be very overwhelming to me. Minamo says she's also looking forward to the live, and Nachi grabs her hand and drags her out of the classroom, dust cloud and all. And we get a shot of Minamo's bag left on the desk. We get a musical montage of the two BFFs walking down the hall. A classroom door opens and we see Kagari at the door. We get a close-up on her and her pink hair, a sign of her future importance. We see her watch them pass before exiting the room and going in the opposite direction. Our next shot shows Minamo and Nachi walking down to the lower level of 3 flights of stairs, and we can see Nagase coming down the first flight to the second flight with some classmates. We get a close-up of her, too. We then get a shot of their school from the front, with Minamo and Nachi walking to the left of the screen down the street. This kind of montage at the beginning after meeting the main character we'll be following to see the other protagonist without introducing them is a really nice touch that I enjoy. It's like, hey, you're following Minamo right now, but these two will show up and have importance later. It also kind of like shows off the world that they live in, how the school is set up, how their streets and things are set up, and I really enjoy that. We also have some credits popping up during this montage. Where I am watching it subbed, there is no translation on these credits, so I have no idea what they say. We get a shot of a car parking space, Minamo and Nachi walking down a hill so we can see the city layout. Buildings with a lot of trees poking out, a shot of a traffic light, then the girls walking to a people crossing section. A shot of a store called Every Mart. The two making their way down a street with a line of trees and grass on one side with buildings on the other. There's even a stream next to the trees, a shot of some street lamps that is also an electric pole. This shot has Project Princession Session listed as copyright in the bottom right corner. We come to the Serrano House sign. It's written in English and kanji on the door. I think it's kanji. I know Japanese has 3 alphabets. It's just something about it. I'm just like, this is probably kanji. I see Nachi waving bye to Minamo and that she'll meet her there. Now that I'm looking at Minamo's house, it looks very nice and kind of like futuristic, like almost solar punk. I didn't notice it my first watch or just pay a lot of attention to it. Inside, we meet Minamo's younger brother, Riku, and her father. Mom is still at work. Dad mentions it's the start of a new school year, so Mom is some kind of school worker, possibly a teacher? Her younger brother approaches her, wanting to play a game on his tablet. Minamo nicely says she can't as she has stuff to do. Riku stomps his feet, saying just one match. Dad offers to play with him, but Riku responds he's strong. Minamo making a face going, do you only want to play me because I suck? Riku, with no shame, says yes, because most kids have no shame. Dad winks at Minamo as Riku goes to play with him. Minamo smiling as she goes to her room, which I think is a very cute, like, family moment to show the family dynamic. These are really nice scenes. We now get to the info about Alice Pia, or Alicia Pia, depending on how you want to pronounce it. It's a video website channel, similar to YouTube, I guess, where girls sing, dance, and show off makeup. The site is actually a magical land. It's a land that only girls can enter. We see Minamo go there through an app on her phone. The inhabitants of the world, Alicia Pians, welcome them with open arms. The Alicia Pians look like Neopets to me. The fact that Alicia Pia is real is kept a secret by all the girls that go there. To adults and boys, Alicia Pia is just a normal video website, which makes me wonder, is it all adults? Women too? Do they forget everything about Alicia Pia when they grow up? What's the age cutoff for this magical world? Minamo says it's their own little wonderland, like a secret clubhouse where they can do whatever they want. But she lists fashion, singing, and dancing, which tells me that this is the main things the girls do here. We see a building that is run by Alicia Pians that approve things in the world. With their approval, girls can even hold lives. I'm curious as to why boys aren't able to go here, but we'll get to that later. But also, apparently, you can age out of being able to get into Alicia Pia, but I haven't seen an exact age given yet at the time of writing the script. Nachi and Minamo enjoy some refreshments outside. The two discuss how Alicia Pia is a strange world. The flow of time is different there compared to their world. 3 to 4 hours could be like 30 minutes in the real world. Nachi wonders what that means for them. With the more time they stay in Alicia Pia, will they become adult women quicker? The two say that they're excited to see Shirobi Kaguri's live. We cut to a concert venue. You see girls in the Alicia Pians, that I will now start referring to as fairies, because Alicia Pians is a very difficult word, and I just shorthanded it to fairies in the script. But we see the girls and fairies in the crowd. Have I stated that I love the fairy designs? They're very wide and diverse and very cute. There's a shark one that I want a plush of so bad. Minamo and Nachi are sitting in the crowd. Nachi says how great Kaguri is for being able to do this. They're the same age, and she only just got permission to do a small live. She also wants to be an idol and perform on a large stage for people. Minamo mentions that Kaguri is in the class next to theirs, and that Nachi should go introduce herself and get to know her. Nachi says she can't. Nachi then asks if Minamo also wants to be an idol. Minamo says she doesn't. She's not good at singing or dancing. She loves seeing people do their very best. Minamo is for cheering on only. Nachi mentions that Minamo has been like that since they were young. Knowing she is cheering her on gets her motivated though. The lights and music start, and warning for those sensitive to flashing lights, this scene might be bad for your health. For that fact, I would either recommend skipping the scene or just skip the anime entirely. I don't recall other flashing lights and where they will be, but at the time of writing the script, now recording, I would definitely recommend if you are sensitive to flashing lights. There's several scenes where there are flashing lights intermittent throughout the series and even the opening, so I would just like heads up, probably not the series for you. I'm just gonna give you that heads up now. Kaguri rises up from a rising platform and begins singing. Everyone is vibing and cheering with glow sticks. We get a shot of a silhouette on a tower point. The person gives rocker vibes in design and reads as a masculine androgynous person. An odd sound plays as circles of dark purple glowing energy ripples from them. A bluish film of noise texture takes over where the ripple of pure energy is. This bluish film noise texture will always show up in the sky when the bad guys appear. I've noticed that and I like that touch. And monsters fall from the sky. The monsters' designs kind of remind me of robots, seahorses, and something else kind of like mixed together. So it's very interesting. Several girls and fairies flee as the monsters destroy the stage, dropping a stage light on Kaguri. Minamo and Nachi are frozen from the shock of watching all this. Nachi comes to her senses and wants to run and tells Minamo to run with her. Minamo is worried about Kaguri, however. Princess Zeal appears and beats up the monsters while singing, the two girls being the only two to watch from the audience. Princess Zeal's song has a Spanish flair to it. After the monsters are defeated, our mystery figure tisks with annoyance before disappearing from his perch. We then get an eye catch. Fun fact, the eye catches are different almost every single episode so far. I've only watched 5 episodes, but so far they are different, and I enjoy that. Nachi picks up Minamo at her place as the two walk to school. Alicia Pia is filled to the brim with people talking about the monsters. Minamo is more curious about the girl who fought them. Nachi wonders if it's all a stunt to promote a new idol, perhaps? Minamo doesn't think so. Kaguri almost got crushed by lighting equipment after all. Minamo says that the girl was fighting them and was shining so much. Princess Zeal reminded her of a princess from a fairy tale. Nachi laughs that a princess who fights monsters unarmed sure is violent. Nachi then tells her about the princess rumors of Alopecia. When monsters run wild in the world, princesses appear to defeat them and protect everyone. The two poke their heads at the door of Kaguri's classroom to see if she's alright. In their class, the two discuss Nachi's first live, which is supposed to happen that day. Minamo is worried because of the monsters, but Nachi is excited to do it. She's practiced so much, she doesn't want to waste the chance due to fear of some monsters. Minamo says that she'll be cheering her on, Kaguri watching from a distance. Our mysterious figure is watching Alopecia from a high perch. Nachi is in her idol outfit in a small area for her very first live. A few other girls are there. Nachi is shaking and turning into stone from nerves, which I think everyone has, especially for their first time performing. Personally, for me, I did theater. I did drama club in high school. And every time I had to perform, especially on like the very first performance for a show, I always got really nervous. So I feel this a lot. You're not alone, Nachi. We see like the white fuzziness as she looks at all the people there to watch. Things come into focus as Minamo cheers. Do your best! And she begins her performance. Because knowing you have one person to look and stare at as you perform is always so much more comforting. Our mysterious figure calls forth his monster, called Jamawoks, because of where I'm watching this. The subtitles for Jamawoks is sometimes spelled Jammer Rocks or Jamawoks, Jamawocks versus Jammerocks. I like both. Both names kind of like give way to that Alice inspired Wonderland theming that they have as an underlay, as there is that poem about a Jamawok or a Jamerwalk or some kind of walk in the Alice in Wonderland books. It's been forever since I've read the books. I read both of them back in like middle school or high school. But yeah, it's a nice underlay tone. I will switch in between whichever I call them, just know they're the same thing. Their voice is a deep, masculine one. So hi, first boy in this world! He plays a guitar of some sort that produces that weird sound we heard earlier. The dark purple energy sound waves appear, monsters appear at Nachi's concert, chasing people around. They dogpile on Nachi and we see the life leave her eyes in that standard anime style of no pupils and no eye highlights. We cut to a scene of a blue fairy saying he feels the Jammerwalks as they fly, and Princess Zeal runs down the street towards the blue noise-textured sky in the distance. Minamo is able to get Nachi away from the monsters and stands between them and goes into the standard, "This is where she was going to have her first live. I won't let anyone take her dream away" speech. Hello, Magical Girl speech number 1. We see a short ripple of blue light appear over a black background, power slowly awakening. A Jammerwalk goes to punch Minamo as she stares it down. We get more ripples and a golden brooch with a blue tear-shaped gem appears and protects her with magic blue light powers, knocking the Jammerwalk back. The light dies down and the brooch floats into Minamo's hand. The bad guy is shocked. Princess Zeal and the Blue Rabbit Fairy finally arrive on scene. The brooch is called a song fragment, as Princess Zeal questions if it is one. The Rabbit Fairy questions if she created it on her own, but they choose to do a shot looking down at the fairy from, like, pretty much this kind of, like, shot, and he's looking up, and it's kind of, like, really creepy. Like, it is a down frontal view of this rabbit, and it just makes the shot look really eerie, and I wonder if they did that on purpose, or if they didn't realize how eerie it would look. Minamo is confused, but she holds up the brooch in her fingers like she's holding up a Pokemon badge, saying she won't let them keep going. And the brooch turns into a bell, and we get our first transformation sequence as she becomes Princess Ripple. And then we go to the ending song. I like that the first episode ends here. I still have many questions now, but it does grip me into this world of this show. Episode 2 starts with scenes of Princess Ripple getting the song fragment and a few different shots of transformation that we didn't see last episode. Princess Ripple is then very confused as to what is happening, what's a Princess Ripple, etc. I do love magical girl shows. Pretty Cure, I know, has done this a couple of times, where after the girl transforms, she's just like, what the fuck is this? And I believe we also had something similar happen in the very first episode of Sailor Moon. And so I like that when the girls who are just ordinary girls, they transform and they're just like, what's happening? What's a Sailor Moon? What's a Pretty Cure? What's a princess? Like, I really enjoy that. I think it's funny. The Blue Rabbit Fairy is shocked by her not knowing anything. Like, dude, you're the Blue Fairy. Like, you seem like explanation fairy. Like, do your job. Of course you don't know nothing. Princess Ripple releases the Jammerwalk, realizes that the Jammerwalk's attacks don't hurt, but she doesn't know how to attack and hurt them. Princess Zeal steps in to fight the Jammerwalks. The fairy makes sure Nachi is okay, and Zeal and Ripple talk while Nachi is asleep, giving her the rundown. We learn Blue Rabbit's name is Navu, N-A-V-U-E, Navu, I'm pronouncing it Navu. He helps the princesses. That's his whole job. He is our exposition fairy. That's his job now. Minamo must keep being a princess a secret from everyone, even her best bud, Nachi, as it could put her friends and family in danger. We get a shot of some hideout where our bad guys are. The main bad guy that we just met and seen throughout episode 1 and 2 is called Bess. We have 3 bad guys. They're all men. They say they have but one goal, but we, the audience, don't know what that goal is. But they do a really nice pan-up shot of, like, the area that they're in, and it looks really pretty. Minamo fusses over Nachi's health as she practices in alopecia by the fountain. Bess teleports by them, Minamo asking if Nachi knows him, and Nachi saying no, before the two question what a guy is doing in alopecia, since guys cannot come to this world. Bess summons Jammerwalks with his hands. This Jammerwalk hits Nachi with a purple energy beam that drains her of her energy, and the Jammerwalk upgrades. Minamo runs with an unconscious Nachi on her back from the Jammerwalk chasing them. Princess Zeal comes to save them. Navu explains that they stole Nachi's Mew Essence, which is a thing that builds up when someone does something they love. Minamo realizes that she became a princess because she loves seeing everyone doing what they love and transforms, and this time is able to fight. Princess Ripple's song is more kind of like a a J-pop sounding with a slight techno feel than Zeal's, who is very like Latin inspired. And each song has like their own lyrics, which I appreciate. And I like that they're different sounds. We see our first magic attack, which is Ripple Shining Stream. Once they defeat the Jabberwock, Ripple is given a sun-shaped brooch with an orange gem in the center. The episode ends with Nachi and Minamo having a powwow on a bench by a river in Alopecia. Episode 3 begins with Navu explaining the brooch is a song fragment. This one is different from the one that makes a princess, though. This one, created when mu essence stolen by a Jabberwock, reacts with a princess's mu essence and crystallizes. These song fragments can be used for a brief power-up. And they're not a one-time use either. I've seen. They can use them multiple times. It's just a brief power-up, though. Minamo is feeling uneasy about being a princess, so she pretty much stalks Kagari throughout the whole school day, taking notes about all of her activities and such. At the end of the day, she asks why she's been following her, and Minamo is shocked she noticed. Kagari responds that she's impressed, and Minamo thought she wouldn't notice. While the two talk on a bench outside after school, Minamo says Kagari is really amazing and talented. Kagari responds that she just started a bit earlier than others, and this is when we learn that Kagari's dad is a choreographer and her mom is an internationally acclaimed opera singer. Neither of her parents forced her into music or dance. She just loves it. Kagari says she became a princess just as suddenly as her. We also learn that Jabberwocks are not Alopecians or fairies, and they're not from Alopecia. They're a complete mystery, both to the girls and to Navu. We also learn that Kagari has defeated several Jabberwocks before she has never seen a person controlling them, though. We see our bad guys having a meeting in the shadows of their little hideout. Bess is fully visible now as we have finally met him. And then Gita wants to go collect mu essence this time around. We have a scene of Minamo lying in bed as she scrolls on her phone. She realizes they don't really know much about alopecia. Like, why can only girls up until high school get in? So now we have that question to, like, what's their age cutoff answered. Congratulations. So we do have our official-ish age limit for the series now established in episode 3, which according to a quick Google search in Wikipedia, this would be around age 15 to 16 for the average start of a Japanese high school. While the entrance to Alopecia is an app, the videos on the public website are uploaded by the Alopecians. An alarm goes off on the app, confusing Minamo, and Navu video calls her and explains it's a Jabberwock notification system he installed it earlier on her phone. We finally see Princess Zeal transform. Her transformation song also has a Latin flair to it, and the two fight and defeat the Jabberwock. Gita calls out to them from on top of a building and introduces himself. He says they don't really have to remember his name, though. His outfit gives military-esque vibe to me. He is also wearing a skirt that goes just above his knees. He calls the previous Jabberwocks pawns and summons a night Jabberwock with a guitar that gives a green energy wave. And this shows us that we now have levels to our Jabberwock monsters, and they're based off of chess pieces by the looks of this. Princess Ripple uses the Sun song fragment as a power-up to help fight the Night Jabberwock. We see our second named attack of the series, Zeal Rising Volcano. Gita leaves upset at his loss. The episode ends with the two agreeing to call each other by their first name, the two being the princesses. Navu wanting Minamo to also be friendlier with him too. Episode 4 introduces Nagisa Ichijo. The girl I know will be our third princess based on the opening and ending song. The episode opens with Bess and Gita talking. Bess warning Gita not to scare the girls too much as they don't want the girls to stop coming to Alopecia so they can take their mu essence. We learn they mess with the memories of whoever is there. Bess warns him it stops working if they see Jabberwocks too many times. Our third dude shows up in silhouette saying he'll go this time. Our third bad guy is called Droon, a play on drum. Once we hear his name, a spotlight appears on him and we also get to see him. It's kind of like a basic rocker kind of look to me, which shows that our bad guys are in a rocker kind of theming. So we got purple, green, and blue here as our theming for our bad guys in color palette wise. Nachi and Minamo talk about a new idol in Alopecia who is actually a freshman in their school, Nagisa Ichijo. This makes her younger than them since they're sophomores. Nachi takes Minamo to go see her. The two go up to her, and Nagisa interrupts them. She then proceeds to do a detective bit, stating a deduction that Nachi stated like 20 seconds ago. Nagisa doesn't stop though. She thinks they've come to put an end to my impudent self. Nagisa often makes leaps in logic and doesn't actually listen to anyone, and I find myself not really liking her much as a character, but she is really good for comedy, but Nachi is already kind of like doing comedy bits already. Though I do like that we get a few scenes of Nagisa and Nachi playing off each other, since they both go headlong into things, and I think that's kind of good and it's fun to see them play off of each other. Just not too much, but I also worry that Nachi won't be appearing as much because of Nagisa and their both similar impulsive personality traits. Minamo does get an autograph from Nagisa during a break during school, but Minamo and Nachi realize that she misspelled shooting as shutting in English. Nagisa is setting up for her live in alopecia. She is approached by a girl who is a big fan. This girl is in almost all purple with purple hair and everything, and she gets all up in Nagisa's personal space. This girl comes in like a tornado and even makes Nagisa nervous. Like, Nagisa is happy for praise, but the way the girl goes about it is a bit too much. The girl is very excited to see Nagisa perform. Nagisa says there's no end to this hype train, which may or may not be a reference to Twitch and other social media websites. She suggests the girl go get tea or something, since it'll be a shame if she burns out before the show even starts. Drun appears from on top of a waterfall. Realizing these dudes love to appear from above, Nagisa questions what a guy is doing in alopecia, and Drun responds with, "Just felt like it." He summons Drumrocks with drumsticks. I'm now thinking Best plays a bass guitar based on his name now, but I can't tell the difference between guitars. They're all guitars to me. But it solidifies the rocker theme of this group. The Jamrocks take her muescence. Minamo and Kaguri arrive on scene and see Nagisa sitting down with soulless eyes. We get our first split screen transformation of Princess Zeal and Ripple. As the princesses fight and beat up the monsters, Nagisa is actually able to see and react somewhat to their fighting. She even stands up and walks over, going, "They're stunning. Is this what real sparkling looks like?" We see Ripple shining stream again. As the energy returns to Nagisa, she falls to the ground. Drun applauds the princesses and introduces himself. Princess Ripple launches into a barrage of questions. Who are you? Why are you stealing muescence? Drun responds it's not a big deal, that they have things they can't not do in their day-to-day. For example, eating meals. It's just what he does to survive. That the princesses would do the same to survive. Taking muescence is like that for him. They are using the muescence as a means of food to live, I guess? Princess Zeal is angered by this, and we get our second magical girl lecture speech of the series that I remember seeing a few times in Sailor Moon. How dare you compare us to you? Muescence is the heart and soul of so many girls. There is no way they're alike. Drun also calls them little ladies all the time. I haven't heard him call them princesses. He just calls them little ladies, which I think is hilarious. The air is tense as they prepare to fight. Drun says he won't say no to a fight, but he points out they should take care of Nagisa, leaving while saying, "Be seeing ya." Drun is my favorite of the bad guys at this moment. He gives this punk but gentle manly kind of side, plus his voice is very nice. Later, Minamo is holding Nagisa as Kaguri stands by. Nagisa wakes up slightly confused, then hops up when she remembers the monsters. Minamo assures her that the princesses have already taken care of the monsters. Nagisa goes, "So it wasn't a dream." Kaguri recommends that she goes home and gets some rest. Performing in her state would be bad for her health. Nagisa agrees, then realizes it's Shirubi Kaguri. Nagisa then goes into hyper fangirl mode. We even get a shot of Nagisa talking to the screen in almost a fourth wall breaking way, which I find amusing. Nagisa goes, "I love you," before clarifying as a big fan because Kaguri is a bit taken aback by that sudden confession. Before going on about how great Kaguri and her parents are, Kaguri cuts through with a thank you, but please go home and get up some proper rest. Nagisa does a bit more fangirling over Kaguri for being an ideal idol to idolize, before running off to go home to rest. Minamo comments that she thinks Nagisa forgot she was there. Navi mopes that she didn't even notice him. Navu just wants some attention, it seems. The three talk about the enemy and that they'll have to do their best as princesses to protect the people of alopecia. The two shake hands. Nachi shows up going, "I'm late for Nagasa's concert." She then questions why they're holding hands. What did she walk in on? The two princesses put their hands behind their backs, dropping Navu in the process as they blush a bit. The episode ends on a shot of Nagasa laying in her bed in a dark room with an arm draped over her eye. She says, "Princesses." Then we go to the ending song. Episode 5 opens with two cats stretching on Nagasa's bed as she thinks about the princesses, if that is what real glimmering is. After the opening, Kagari and Minamo are talking at a break at school while standing by some trees. Nagasa hasn't uploaded any new videos despite her muescence having been returned. She also hasn't been seen in alopecia by anyone either. Kagari says she could just be taking a short break. Minamo hopes so, but she's still worried. Kagari suggests asking Nagasa after school. Nagasa is happy to say hi to them after school, and Minamo asks if she's doing alright. Nagasa says she's just been slacking off a bit. She says she guess she can tell them if it's them. And we get a shot of like the school's track field as students are running on it. And Nagasa says, while the memories are fuzzy, she remembers what happened when the Jamrocks attacked her. Even as other details faded more, the image of the princesses fighting is so strong in her mind. Minamo whispers to Kagari, "Do you think she remembers seeing us transform?" Kagari says she doesn't think so. Nagasa explains that seeing the princesses fighting and shining, she can't help but think, so this is what the real thing is like. Nagasa explains that Minamo was mistaken when she praised her the other day. What she has is just a knockoff, a fake. Real glimmer is what the princesses had. Nagasa is having imposter syndrome. I feel like Nagasa is very much representing a more internet-based kind of idol. Kagari is more of a classic-trained idol, and Minamo the fan cheering them on at this point. Kagari questions what she means by real or fake. Nagasa explains she's always been a quick learner. She also only started visiting alopecia fairly recently. Minamo comments, "Really? She got so popular in such a short amount of time. It's incredible." Nagasa shoots back with, "Isn't it weird? She shouldn't have gotten so far with her half-hearted effort. She had been questioning if she had any glimmer at all. Seeing the princesses glimmering, she lost sight of who she was. It's why she's gone a few times since, but it hasn't done anything while being in alopecia. She couldn't bring herself to do anything." Imposter syndrome is a big thing, and I like seeing it being shown here. I feel like every person making or sharing anything online or in a public space suffers from this. Nagasa blushes as she laughs in embarrassment that it must be awkward listening to her ramble. She apologizes before leaving. Kagari and Minamo are left worried about her. We have a wider shot of where our bad guys are hanging out. It gives broken Roman planetarium vibes to me. They bicker a bit and state they can't just leave the princesses around. Geeta cares about taking turns. This is apparently the chief of the team, and Droon is going to be going again this episode. Our next shot is the fangirl at the waterfall Nagasa was supposed to perform at last episode. She goes, it looks like Nagasa isn't coming today again. Cut to a shot of Nagasa walking down the street in alopecia. Nagasa questioned why she's even there when she can't do anything. She's approached by her fan who is so happy to see her. She was worried that something had happened to her. Dron appears, joking that she brought a +1 this time. The purple fan asks Nagasa if she knows him. She then begins to question him. But I like that the characters do question why a dude is just suddenly in that space when it's not a common occurrence there. But it does, like, take them a second to, like, realize, wait, why is a guy here? Because I feel like that's, like, everyone. He summons Jamrock saying, "Let's have you both for dinner." I am really interested in this muescence food comparison that Drone is making, and I really, really want to know, like, what their main deal is at the moment. Minamo, Kagari, and Navu are talking about what they can do to ease Nagasi's worries. Navu's ears perk up as he senses Jamrocks. And we get a new eye catch this episode, because it took me 5 episodes to realize the eye catches were different every single episode. Nagasa tries to take her purple fan and run, but Jamrocks take purple fan's energy. Kagari and Minamo arrive from behind Nagasa and transform. Split screen transformation. They tell Nagasa to take purple fan and run. They'll handle the monsters. Once all but one of the Jamrocks are defeated, Droon teleports down to ground level. Princess Ripple dashes to punch him. Droon flips her over him with one hand before jumping to attack Princess Zeal. Droon gives the princesses a beating, and Nagasa begins to glow by her heart as she watches. If the princesses can't beat him, what will happen to Purple Fan? The princess and Navu realizes Nagasa is beginning to glow. Navu stating she meets the requirements. Drone begins attacking again, questioning if they have the time to be gawking. Navu approaches the glowing Nagisa and says he wants her to help the princesses. He's sure she can become a princess too. He gives her the rundown. The only way to bring Purple Fan back is to defeat the Jamrock. Princess Zeal states it's something only princesses can do. If Nagisa becomes a princess, please lend them her strength. Nagisa says she can't cut it. She doesn't have a true glimmer. The imposter syndrome is still strong with this girl. Now, we get Magical Girl Lecture Speech number 3 by Princess Zeal, too. She tells Nagisa it doesn't matter if the glimmer isn't real or not. Her singing and dancing brings people joy. Does being real or fake matter rather than the people's smiles? Princess Ripple adds that she can't tell the difference between real or fake, but she knows Nagisa's songs make her happy. Purple Fan feels the same way. The speech gets through to her, and we get Magical Girl speech number 4 from Nagisa about how could she be so blind, the fact that someone felt her glimmer was enough. Her brooch gem is a highlighter greenish yellow in a star shape. Navu cheers, and all Drone does is a humph. We get her transformation, sequence, which is very star-themed. Princess Meteor is now on the scene. The star theme very much fits Meteor. She starts sparring with Drone. The Jamrock appears from the waterfall and catches Princess Meteor with its long arms and begins zapping her. Princess Zeal is holding up a Princess Ripple who can barely stand and can't help Princess Meteor. Princess Meteor begins singing again anyway and breaks free. She knocks over the Night Jamrock. Drone comments that Meteor is something else. We get to see our third magical attack, Meteor Asteroid Shower. Drone stands holding the attack back from the Jamrock. However, after a snarky comment about no wonder Meteor said she hadn't gotten serious if she had this up her sleeve, he teleports away. Jamrock is then destroyed. The sparkle, that is probably a song fragment, lands in Meteor's hand. Purple Fan wakes up on a bench in alopecia. She vaguely remembers talking to Nagisa. Princess Meteor watches from behind a wall before de-transforming. She asks, how does this work? I too wonder how the transformations in most magical girl shows work. I just learned not to question it. It just does. It's like how do the Powerpuff Girls hold things with no fingers? They just do. Nagisa then sees that the princesses were Kagari and Minamo. Kagari says she looks forward to working with her in the future, and that she would like to just call her Nagisa instead of their last names. Nagisa agrees. She calls them both Captain Minamo and Captain Kagari. The captain title makes Minamo blush. The episode ends with Nagisa giving a concert. The ending credits is her song continued with a clip show of this episode, which I think is a really nice touch to change the ending for this episode. And we now have all 3 of our princesses that we see in the opening scene. Not sure if we're going to get a mid-season princess since we do have 48 episodes, but we do have this now. Impressions and feelings. This is where I talk about how I feel about the show and the impressions that I have. So I inserted that a lot into the plot summary. This show is very music-based. But what I like is that all the songs the girls sing aren't too samey. I like that the songs so far sound cohesive together, like they do belong to the same production, without being more of the same sound, influence, and vibe. I am not always a fan of shows where most of the songs sound so similar. I am also not much of a fan of idol shows in general. I do like Jim the Holograms, but I enjoy the Misfits more than the Holograms, and I don't always enjoy the episode context. I just enjoy listening to the songs from it. Hannah Montana was fun, but I didn't go out of my way to watch it growing up. I would mostly only watch it if it was on the television. And as you can see, I haven't seen enough Idol anime to even list one in this brief thing. You and Idol Pretty Cure is currently airing right now alongside the show. It started airing in February, while Princess Orchestra began in April. So about a 2-month lead. Both are magical girl anime with music and idol theming. Princess Orchestra is aimed at a PG-13 audience based on my anime list in the rating system. You and Idol has a rating of G for general audiences, everyone, but we do know Pretty Cure is aimed at young girls. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Princess Orchestra, it also seems to be aimed at girls as well. Probably that middle school, high school demographic versus Pretty Cure being middle school, elementary demographic. So there is overlap in the demographic that these shows are aiming for. And because these shows are airing at the same time. There is going to be a lot of comparisons made between the two. This rating difference doesn't seem to have much effect on what the shows are doing at this moment, but I'm only 5 episodes into Princess Orchestra, while I've seen 15 episodes of You and Idol Pretty Cure so far. I personally hope that fans of one show will find the other and enjoy them for what is similar and what is different between the two. After all, there's no way we can avoid comparisons between these two shows, because they are airing at the same time. They have so many similar concepts and baseline kind of things they're doing, both being magical girl idol shows. There's no way to separate the two. But I'm hoping that fans of one will also be fans of the other, because why would you hate on one just because it's similar to the other one when you like the other one so much? Be fans of both. Design-wise, the princess outfits seem cohesive while having things that make them fit the individual themes of each girl's. The fairies of the Alopecia land were so cute, diverse, and in a wide range while being small. I also realized while watching episode 5 that the bad guys have the same pupil shape as the fairies of Alopecia. Gita and Bess have their hair shape that looks like animal ears. Droon also does, it's just you can't see it in every shot and it's slightly different. So I have a theory.
Got a theory.
That the bad guys are fairies in human form. We already know some fairies are boys, so it would explain why they're able to be in Alopecia. But what we don't know is if they can go to the human world or not. But this is, like I said, only a theory. An anime theory, but a theory nonetheless. I like the animation and the art style. My one nitpick is the way the eyes are drawn and colored in for the designs of the show, specifically for the human characters, even the fairies too, is that it makes it hard for me to tell where these characters are looking, because the eyes are so big, you can really only tell where they're looking based off of like their head tilt or where their head is turned. There's really not much movement of the eyeballs, but that's perfectly fine. It's just a tiny little nitpick I noticed. I do enjoy that we get a lot of wide shots in the human world showing off how the world looks. The city and nature intertwine, the school's luncheon areas and track fields. And most times we have information given about the story plot via dialogue over these wide shots, which I greatly enjoyed. Ratings! My dryer just went off. Yay, back in full clothes. At this moment, from just the first 5 episodes, I give Princess Session Orchestra a C rank. It's good. Nothing that is enduring it to me where I will probably want to rewatch it, though it is gripping me in story-wise because I have so many questions, but I am only 5 episodes in. It does have a total of 45 episodes to sway me into a different rank, and I will be watching it week to week, and I am greatly enjoying the music and songs. Like I said earlier, impressions and feels, I like that the songs are not too samey. Outro! Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and comment to let me know what other shows would you like me to review in the future. Subscribe to see more videos as they come out. I'm also missing the watch time to start making money with YouTube, and I am thankful to all of you who helped me to get to that point of making money via the site. I would greatly appreciate it. Many thanks to my Patreon and Ko-fi supporters: Axel1154, TwdTeacakes, Kaleidoscope Chick, Cassy G, Jdsj, Axel, Alcaraz, Micah, and SemiRandomSevens. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much for helping me be able to devote more time to creating art and writing. It's very, very helpful for me, so I don't have to worry so much about my bills. So, yay, thank you. It's mostly, it helps with gas money at this point, because stuff is expensive. You can also support me by buying my art on products via Redbubble. I've got a lot of designs on there, some fun stickers. I've got some Sonic themed masks that sell every once in a while. I have a Tails one somewhere in my house. I have also self-published multiple ebooks. Most are short stories that you can get via most ebook stores. Smashwords, Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Nobles, the like. I'm currently working on a series called Cute Fluffy Gay Shit, which is a series of short stories that are slice of life, fluffy stories, because I needed more cute fluffy gay shit to read and I was struggling to find it. And instead of writing fan fiction like I normally do, I wrote original stories. So you're welcome. The first book in that series, The Kelpie Makes Dinner, is out now. I'm also working on creating a graphic novel version of that story. My plan currently is to complete the rough drafts of the pages by May 2026. You can see the first couple of pages on my Patreon if you are a supporter, so thank you very much. Thank you all for being here, for watching this far. You're all way past cool. Thank you so much for being here. I am greatly appreciative. And everyone, have a good day. Remember to stay hydrated. All that good jazz. Bye bye.